I'm Kris Groda.
And I'm Jeff Whatley.
And this is Family Talks. You know, the Bible tells us in Colossians chapter 3 and verse number 9, husbands, love your wives and do not be bitter towards them or bitter against them. Now right here on Family Talks, we want to talk about how to be the family that God wants us to be. And instead of being bitter against our wives, Jeff, what emotion could we work at replacing that with?
I think it's great in Colossians chapter 3 when it also gets onto the things you don't want to do, you put off, but the things you want to put on, those positive traits. It says in the New King James to put on tender mercies. But I like the word that's used in the ESV and such when it says compassion. I think it's that compassion that we should use, and it's defined, and even the world understands that compassion is not just a feeling sorry, but it's actually understanding that you want to help alleviate the distress that someone else is under.
You know, the Bible tells us over in 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse number 7, husbands likewise dwell with them, that is your wives, in an understanding way, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel or the more fragile vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. As New Testament Christians, we want to put on the right kind of attitudes in our homes so that God is blessing us in our homes. And bitterness just doesn't need to be a part of it. But with every bad emotion that we feel, we've got to replace it with a good emotion. And we've got to put that into practice. What else does the Bible say about compassion?
Well, I still want to be on that compassion because it means so much. And it's over 40 times as this mentioned it. And in the words, that's just the word compassion. But when you look up the idea that in the King James it says the bowels of mercy or tender mercies, and even Galatians 6:2 says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. That as Christians we want to live as Christ would have us to live and to follow His example. Do you not remember in Mark chapter 6 verse 34 when it says that Jesus came out and saw them, they were like sheep without a shepherd, and He was moved with compassion and He began to teach them many things? Now we're speaking about marriage, and it's a way that we learn. We come from different backgrounds and we learn and help teach each other, and we dwell together and we study the Word together, our husbands and wives. But all the way through the Old Testament, God's compassion, and it's seen clearly in Psalm 103:13 when it says, a father shows compassion to his children, so does the Lord show compassion to those that fear Him. Now that fear is, of course, reverence. To those that respect, revere God, He's going to show compassion to us, just like a good father shows compassion to his children.
Let's take what we talk about on Family Talk and let's make it a family practice.